Lizzie Borden is a famous case that occurred in the late 1800s in Fall River, Massachusetts. It involves the murder of Andrew and Abby Borden, Lizzie's father and stepmother, on August 4, 1892. Andrew Borden was a wealthy businessman, and his daughter Lizzie, who was in her 30s, lived with him and her stepmother in their large home. In today's video, we will be showing you the Lizzie Borden case. Without further ado, let's begin. On the morning of August 4, Lizzie claimed to have discovered her father's body on the sofa in the sitting room of their home. She immediately called for help, and the police arrived soon after. Upon entering the house, the police discovered the body of Abby Borden, who had been brutally attacked with a hatchet in an upstairs bedroom. Andrew Borden had also been attacked with a hatchet, and his head was nearly split in two. The murders shocked the small town of Fall River, and suspicion soon turned to Lizzie. There were a few reasons why Lizzie became the primary suspect. Firstly, she was the only person in the house at the time of the murders. Secondly, her behavior after the murders was seen as suspicious. For example, she reportedly burned a dress that she claimed had paint on it, but many believed it was stained with blood. Additionally, she gave conflicting statements to the police about her whereabouts and activities on the day of the murders. The trial of Lizzie Borden began in June of 1893. The prosecution argued that Lizzie had a motive for the murders, as she and her sister were unhappy with their father's wealth and the way he spent his money. The defense, on the other hand, argued that Lizzie was innocent and that the prosecution had failed to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. After a lengthy trial, the jury found Lizzie not guilty of the murders. To this day, the case remains unsolved, and the question of who killed Andrew and Abby Borden continues to fascinate and perplex people. Despite being acquitted, Lizzie Borden's reputation was forever tarnished by the case. She was ostracized by the community and became something of a pariah. She continued to live in Fall River for several years after the trial, but eventually moved to a different town. The case has inspired numerous books, movies, and TV shows over the years, and it continues to captivate people's imaginations. Many theories have been proposed about who might have committed the murders, ranging from Lizzie herself to a business associate of Andrew's who was unhappy with him. In recent years, new evidence has come to light that has shed new light on the case. In 2017, a team of forensic experts conducted a new investigation into the murders using modern technology. They concluded that Lizzie was indeed the killer, citing evidence such as blood spatter patterns and the position of the bodies. However, others remain unconvinced by this theory, and the case remains one of the most intriguing and debated murder mysteries of all time. The Lizzie Borden case is also noteworthy for its cultural impact. The rhyme Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41, has become a well-known nursery rhyme and has been featured in various media, including literature, music, and film. The case also sparked discussions about gender and societal expectations. Lizzie was seen as an unlikely suspect due to her gender and social standing. Many believe that a woman could not have committed such a violent crime, and some speculated that Lizzie may have been protecting someone else who was responsible. In addition, the trial drew attention to the role of the media in shaping public opinion. The sensationalist reporting of the case in newspapers and magazines helped to turn public opinion against Lizzie and may have influenced the outcome of the trial. Overall, the Lizzie Borden case remains a fascinating and enduring mystery that continues to capture the public's imagination. Despite over a century of speculation and investigation, the question of who killed Andrew and Abby Borden remains unanswered. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.